Lobby.
Billie Holiday, folks.
Lower level.
I am from the Commonwealth, and I prefer to keep a low profile unless circumstances dictate otherwise.
That doesn't really answer my questions.
If my responses were inadequate, perhaps in the future, your queries should be more specific.
Chief, just getting our new head of military caught up on HQ procedure.
It is a different structure than what I'm accustomed to, so the orientation is appreciated.
Still haven't told me what you are accustomed to.
Are you always this suspicious?
It's part of the job description. Besides, it's nothing personal. He's just an unknown factor.
Interrogation was to be expected, and it helps present a clear picture as to the kinds of people I'll be working with. Considering security and military will have their overlaps, I consider this a useful opportunity to socialize with a colleague.
Did you need anything?
It would be wise to grow our military while I work on decoding the intel we recovered from the Gunner overpass. I believe I now understand the process in which orders are assigned and processed within your HQ. So, perhaps we should get started.
For orders to be processed, you're gonna need way more people than we have right now. Unless you're planning on winning this war all by yourself.
If that were feasible, it would present a more efficient option. But you are correct. More officers will be required in the long run. Though, I have certain proposals in mind that shouldn't take much time or manpower to accomplish.
What do you think we should do?
I've submitted 2 proposals. One has to do with our standards of recruitment, and the other offers an alternate goal for assaults on enemy targets.
Tell me about the options.
Right now, we take control over any defensible location we assault once it's been secured.
Which means we're the ones responsible for whoever's left standing there. And if we can't spare the supplies to make use of it, it'll only set us back.
Precisely. During war, there is value to foregoing direct takeover in favor of vassalization. The residents would remain self-governing, but agree to supply us in exchange for protection. In the future, we would be able to carry out other types of assaults that you may find useful to your strategy.
What exactly are we looking for?
Once our number of outposts begins to grow, and we require more people to staff them, it's going to be more difficult for you to personally see to recruitment.
Frankly, it's already a waste of your time. Delegation should be a priority.
There is benefit to recruiting yourself, of course, as you are able to handpick who fights for you. For filling out the ranks, however, it's best to leave that in the hands of your outposts. The proposal I submitted is a basic standardization of equipment and training that rookies will be given upon recruitment. Eventually, we'll be able to recruit specialized troops as well.
Sounds good.
Review the proposals and approve them when you're able. They will allow us to proceed.
I'm going back to work. Looks like you two have everything handled.
Yes, your insight has been invaluable. Thank you, Aiden.
Huh. You're welcome.
Huh?
Identity confirmed. Awaiting input.
See? He ain't so scary up close. Well, okay. Maybe he's a tad scary up close, but it ain't like he's gonna hurt you or nothing.
I didn't think he was going to hurt me.
Scare you?
Aw, don't feel bad, big guy. Take it as a compliment. Hey, Chief. I got a bone to pick with you. And Sal, too.
It's nothing bad. She just means there's some stuff with the outpost that we wanted to talk to you about.
I said what I meant.
They did bring up some valid concerns. It would be in the best interest of our military to hear them out. If you're ready, I think you should hear what Teresa and Lupe have to say.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I've made some headway in decrypting the intelligence we've gathered, but we can speak of it later. In the meantime, there are some immediate concerns to address.
So, this outpost you and Sal set up. Did either of you actually think about the people that are gonna be posted there?
Of course. After all, soldier combat readiness is of the utmost priority.
Wrong. The utmost priority is making sure you even have soldiers there to begin with. And if you want people to join up without the chief having to bring them in, you're gonna have to make the place livable first. Or at least inhabitable.
Makes sense.
Well, anyway, that brings us to the second thing. Hey kid, you're up.
Oh, right. Well, you already know outposts are all military and whatnot. Civilian things would just get in the way. But they'll still need supplies and, you know, power and stuff. The good news is that we're kinda used to managing logistics by now. So, if there are any settlements with surplus near an outpost, they'll share enough to keep it running.
Thanks. I always appreciate good advice.
I'm glad that helps. It is a little different from how we usually do things, but we'll make sure to stay on top of it.
As I previously said, these are all important things to address. I admit, I've rarely had access to such long-term infrastructure or supply networks.
Yeah, well, you're playing for our team now. That means you got people who can handle the behind-the-scenes stuff. I told you you'd like working for us.
You have told me that. Yes.
We're gonna pull this off.
I do have one last matter to address. It's important that you understand the various roles our troops will fulfill while assigned in an outpost. There are 4 major roles, and assignment is largely automatic. However, you can speak to the soldiers to reassign them. You have the final say in who performs what duty. The most active role will be that of the warriors, who will accompany you to any assault. However, there is also guards, patrols, and support. Do you wish me to explain them in greater depth?
Tell me more.
Oh, let me guess. Guards protect the outpost. Maybe even while everyone else is off fighting?
Correct. That is a good explanation.
Oh, thanks. And, patrols. Keep an eye on the area?
Correct again. Patrols will secure the area surrounding the outpost and come to the aid of any nearby settlement that comes under attack. They won't be called away for assault either.
Look at you, kid. Careful, Chief. Lupe might be next in line for your position.
I could see that.
Oh, I don't think so. That would be way too much responsibility.
Indeed, you are far too young for such a position. But I suspect that could be the very reason Teresa made the remark, as it would be humorous.
Always funnier when you explain it, Sal. Anyway, I guess support is just whoever's staying back to keep the outpost running and do all the other jobs.
Yes, that is a sufficient explanation of the roles.
That's a lot to process.
Managing all these tasks will contribute to the effectiveness of our troops in warfare. It's time to discuss what I've managed to glean from the intelligence we recovered from the gunner outpost on the overpass. It appears they've set Vault 95 as their communication hub for coordinating the Stingrays. Assaulting it won't be easy, and we'll need to ensure we have enough able soldiers. It would be prudent to attend to any outstanding needs our outposts might have before proceeding. However, the call is yours.
It's my top priority.
I'm glad to see you're taking our people into account. I know there's a war on, but we'll be better off if we don't lose sight of all the folks making these battles winnable, you know?
Yeah. Everyone's working really, really hard. We should take care of them as best we can. There's really a lot to do. I thought it might be a good idea to make some notes for you. Maybe it'll help keep track of everything?
Regardless of your next steps, we'll await your command to attack Vault 95 when you deem us ready.
Oh, hello. Yeah?
Hi.
What do you want?
Does your presence indicate a need for my assistance?
Lobby. Yes?
Someone told me smashing the skull of a child is evil.
You gotta
But
love
like,
Butcher
what
Pete,
is
or
evil?
love to hate him.
Need to get back to...
The Overseer's office is often treated as a Vault's nerve center. It's likely the Gunners have made it their center of operations. We should secure it as soon as possible. The Commonwealth has been my home for many years, and it's seen a few people of your caliber. With our troops holding the exterior, the Gunners here are trapped with no means of escape and no hope of reinforcements. We should be cautious. This is the end for you!
Now I know they come on. But in this case, even I have to admit, it's hard to not suspect they were involved. Don't jump to conclusions, but...
Should have stayed in bed, lady.
Busted.
I want this one's head! Lock and load!
Good to know.
Last mistake!
That's a great.
Terminal's gotta be somewhere. Yes.
We're hot!
Situation under control. They won't be causing any more trouble.
Take her out! Hold the line!
You shouldn't have crossed us!
Hey there.
This appears to be the command room. Conduct a thorough search for any intel. We must identify where the gunners are housing communications.
That's it. Some sort of code.
If I may, I would like to examine that. I recognize this sequence. It's an old pre-war cipher, used for encrypting internal comms. Evidently, the Gunners didn't expect anyone else to know it. These papers speak of a strategy for using stingrays to maintain pressure on us, distracting us, while they search for some sort of technology in the Commonwealth. The Gunners also appear to be in a hurry to accomplish this before we discover a vulnerability that they aim to exploit.
Do you have any more details?
The details are vague, although I believe they have not yet found a way to take advantage of this vulnerability. If that is indeed the case, then it is all the more essential that we destroy their stingray operations before the Gunners can exploit this flaw.
Time's wasting, so let's pick up the pace.
Judging by this map, and the assumed computing power required to run encrypted communications to stingrays, our next objective is likely in the lower level, near the generators.
Sweet.
Situation under control.
Just to be on the safe side. Well, never a dull moment here at Diamond City Radio. Now let's hear from Bob Crosby. Happy one. This is a favorite of yours truly. It reminds me, life is happy.
Broken.
As I'm sure you know all too well, I haven't always been the best at this job. Hey, let's face it, I've been pretty terrible. Thanks to the efforts of a few of my friends, I've decided to change.
Impressive. No matter the obstacle, you appear to possess the determination and skill to progress. This is it. It appears they've taken more care in encrypting these documents. Taken together with the intel we've already recovered, we may be able to uncover the last of the Stingray operations. Vault 95 is secure. All objectives accomplished. If there are any remaining gunners, our troops will conduct a final sweep. Good work today, Chief. I will meet you back at HQ to debrief.
something often in short supply in
Hey.
the Commonwealth, folks. So I'm happy to be able to deliver a little bit of it. If you were one of the folks.
Attention. Maintenance required. Report to the elevator. To clear up a...
Lower level.
I'm back.
Welcome home. I was hoping to address something rather urgent. Namely, the uptick in injuries sustained since we've started going on the offensive against the gunners.
Injuries and casualties are unavoidable. If we are to succeed in pushing back against the gunners, we cannot let this slow our pushback.
Naturally. However, if you're going to keep the pressure up, you'll need to keep everyone on their feet. There's no rushing recovery. An injured soldier will only be a liability.
So what's the solution?
Straight to the heart of the matter. I do always appreciate that about you. First off, we have to deal with the injuries sustained in the last skirmish. Left alone, they'll heal in time, but time is a luxury even under the best of circumstances. Most of the injured are in bad enough condition that they can't be transported to HQ. They'll have to get treatment and recover at their outposts. By your leave, I can take a trip out and take care of the wounded this time around. In the future, you may want to ensure that outposts have their own doctors. It also wouldn't hurt to have field medics stationed there. They'll follow your assault teams and patch the wounded on the spot. Keep injuries from becoming critical.
What's the difference?
Station doctors will be able to speed up recovery of anyone who gets injured in the field. Field medics, however, are specially trained to stay close to combat and perform first aid. Speed of treatments should never be underestimated. Having a proficient field medic will lighten the burden on your hospitals and cut down on lasting injuries.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'll head out soon, then. Soldiers are your most valuable asset in this conflict, so do keep an eye on them.
Gee, Cassandra. I didn't expect you to say something so... cold.
Did that sound callous? I just find it best to focus on the big picture and count the dead once the conflict is over.
I have to agree with that stance, but you seem distressed by it, Lupe.
It's not... Well, I guess it's just hard to wrap my head around. You two talk like death is just expected. I mean, I know it's going to happen. I just...
Not coming to terms with war right away is nothing to feel troubled about, dear. Now, didn't you have something to tell our chief?
Right. Well, you know those places you've attacked and had taken over? I mean, the smaller ones that we can't really settle or use as an outpost?
Sounds important. Go ahead.
So I was thinking, we can send out teams of scavengers to pick clean any battlefield. You know, grab anything off the fallen enemies and any supplies that are there.
That is a good way to capitalize on our victories. Furthermore, even locations we cannot utilize can still be held for any strategic resources they may hold. That said, such areas are often located in hostile territory, not counting the gunners. Building there would be a waste in the long run, but nearby outposts can send guards to hold them.
You've done good work.
My next priority will be to decode all the intel we've acquired from raiding gunner strongholds. It is my expectation that I can pinpoint the last site supporting their Stingray operations.
Now that you mention it, there is a location nearby that might be worth securing. Heaven knows how quickly we're going through our medical supplies.
And scrap. Honestly, sometimes it scares me how quickly we're going through supplies. But I do know a place where we can get more, so maybe we should do that? While we wait?
Both are good suggestions. I will need at least a day to decode the intel regardless. Return then.
This war is beginning to look like quite the to-do list. How about I update the notes Lupe had made for you? Let you focus without losing track of what needs doing. Stay safe out there.